Good morning, guys. We are going to start reading today by talking about some endings, okay? We are going to talk about adding ing, ed, er, and est to words today we're going to change their spelling and talk about what those different endings mean, okay? So the first picture I have is of someone swimming, okay? Swimming, the base word was swim. Before you could add the ending, if it ends in vowel consonant, you double that final consonant. We had to double the M, and then we could add the ing ending. If you were swimming, the ing ending makes something mean you're doing that right now, okay? The other ending we're going to talk about is ed, okay? This person raced someone, okay? If a word already ends in E, you don't want two E's. You drop this E and then you add the ed ending, okay? Ed ending usually makes words mean they happened in the past. We raced yesterday at PE, but we are swimming right now. So ing means present time, ed past time, okay? Here's another example of an ed ending. This person flipped, okay? If a word ends in vowel consonant, just like over here in swim, we have to double it, flip, and then add the ed ending, okay? So that's if it ends in vowel consonant. Okay, over here, we're going to talk about comparative endings. That means we're comparing things, okay? On this picture, we're comparing those two totem poles. This one is taller than that one. You use the ER ending when you're comparing two things, okay? So, tall and taller, okay? You can add ER. But we're going to take it a step further, and if you're comparing three or more things, you use the EST ending. Okay, this is the smallest of all three. So you can just add EST when you're comparing three or more. Okay, we're going to do some more up here. Okay, if I wanted to add ing to the word spend to make spending, I can just add, because it ends in two consonants, not like vowel consonant, you can just do spend ing, okay? We could say we're spending time on reading right now. Okay, use, if I want to, that's another one that ends in E. You drop that E and then you can add ed, used. Okay, here's another one, spot. This got a vowel consonant like flipped. So you got to double the T, then you may add the ending to make spotted. Okay, happy. If I want to say I am happy, or I could say I'm happier today than I was yesterday. I'm comparing how I feel today to how I felt yesterday. That's two things. So happy ends with a Y. You've got to change the Y to an I, H-A-P-P, like we did last week. Change the Y to an I, then add your ending. Happier. Okay? This word is shine. It ends with an E, so we can drop that to make it mean shiny S. Drop that E, then add EST. Shiny S. You don't need two E's. Okay? It wouldn't be S-H-I, shine. You don't need the two E's. That's why you drop the first one and then add your EST ending, okay? We're going to practice more of this all week, and your spelling words also have those endings in them. We are still going to talk a little bit more about endings, the ed, ing, er, and est endings. Here are some words I can blend. Those are words that you should be able to read, okay? I'm going to say them. I want you to repeat them at home. Using, used, hopping. Okay, I want you to look at hopping. Okay, the base word would be hop. before you can add your ending, because it ends in vowel consonant, I am so sorry. This word is hopping. The base word is hop. It ends in vowel consonant. So you have to double that consonant before you can add the ending. Hopping looks a lot like hoping. Like I was hoping to not make any mistakes. Okay, so my word, let's look at the word hope. If I want to say hoping, I'm going to drop the E and add the ending. Hoping. Okay, so there's hopping and hoping. But we'll talk more about that. I just don't want you to be confused. Okay? Shadiest, later, dropped. Okay? Sentence 1. The pen I was using ran out of ink, so I used another one. Using has the ing ending. Those rabbits are hopping to the shadiest spot. Hopping and shadiest. Dad arrived later than he'd planned because he dropped Max off at school. Later has ER, planned has ED, dropped has ED. Okay, so those are some examples of our new endings we're talking about. Okay, I'm going to turn the page up here. And I'm going to read something to you, okay? And we're going to look for some of those new endings. Hunter had always loved reading, but he got used to choosing only one kind of book. Whenever Hunter was going to the library, he always picked out adventure stories. Mom said, "Why don't you try reading a funnier title? It might make you happier." Hunter decided he would try on his very next visit. The first book he selected was about a talking dog. It was the silliest book he had ever read, and he walked home giggling. Now Hunter has learned that he enjoys many kinds of books, even the silly ones. Okay, here is an ED ending, loved, ing, reading. So my ED words so far are loved, ing, reading, used, choosing, only one kind of book. Whenever Hunter was going to the library, he always picked out adventure stories. Mom said, "Why don't you try reading a funnier?" Look, there's one with ER. ER. A funnier title. It might make you happier. Hunter decided, that's got ED, he would try it on his very next visit. The first book he selected was about a talking dog. So we've got selected and talking. It was the silliest. There's the EST. It was the silliest book he had ever read, and he walked home giggling. So we got walked and giggling with an ing. Now Hunter has learned ED that he enjoys many kinds of books, even the silly ones. Okay, so when you're reading, you can now look for ED, ing, ER, and EST endings and know what they mean. Again, this week we're going to talk about sequencing in stories. Sequence, again, is the order in which events happen in a story. As you read, look for clue words that tell you time, or words such as first, then, next, after that, and finally to understand the sequence of events. A timeline can help you keep track of the sequence. Okay, you can think what's happening first, second, next, and last. And we're going to practice this on a different passage in just a few minutes, okay? So sequence, again, is the order in which things happen in a story. Okay, in your reading workbook, the gray workbook pages that starts on page 40 in the Charlie McButton. Okay, I want you to flip over. This is what we've been working in. I want you to flip over and find page 62. Page 62, okay, and it says base words and endings at the top. Base words and endings. It is workbook page 62. If you need to pause this, that would be fine. Pause it, find it, and then get ready, okay? So workbook page 62, base words and endings. Okay, we're going to do some of these together, then you're going to have an opportunity to do some before our call. Okay, so on 1 through 5, we have a column we're going to add ED, then we're going to add ING, okay? And I know this, you may not be able to see this great, but you've got this right in front of you, okay? They have an example. The word was plan. They made it planned. We had to double that consonant because it ended in vowel consonant before we could add ED. Same thing for ING. Double the end, add the ending. Okay? The first word is please. Okay? Please is spelled P-L-E-A-S-E. Okay? We've got to drop that E before we add this ending, so it's going to be P-L-E-A-S-E-D. Okay? Same thing over here. I'm making it pleasing with I-N-G. P-L-E-A-S. We're still dropping the E, I-N-G. So we've made the words pleased and pleasing. Okay? Number 2, the word is use. So I've got to make it used. So I'm going to drop that first E, then add ED. Used. And then I'm going to make using. U-S, I'm still dropping the E, I-N-G. So we have use, used, using. Okay? We're going to do one more together. Number 3, the word is shop. Shop. Okay? It ends in vowel consonant. So I've got to double that, S-H-O-P-P-E-D, shopped, and then S-H-O-P-P-I-N-G, shopping. Now you're going to do 4 and 5, use worry to add ED for here, worry to add ING here, tug with ED, then tug with ING. Pause the video if you need to and finish this. Okay? Otherwise, we're going to look at the bottom. On the bottom, we're going to add ER ending and EST ending. Okay? So let's look at number 6. I'm going to make 6, which my word is great. I'm going to make greater and greatest. Okay? So great with ER, we don't have to change anything. We can just put great and add ER. Same thing for greatest. Okay? Greater, that's what you would use when you were comparing two things. Greatest, 3 or more. Okay, we're going to do number 7 together. Number 7, the word is easy. E-A-S-Y. Okay, remember with Y, you're going to change it to an I. E-A-S-I-E-R. Easier. Okay, I could say my reading test was easier than my math test. Okay, that was comparing two things. Okay, if I'm going to add my EST, E-A-S-I-E-S-T. Okay, I would say, or I could say, the grammar test was the easiest test I took all day. You're comparing that test to the test you took all day long. Okay, thin. Thin ends in vowel consonant. So I've got to double it. T-H-I-N-N-E-R. Okay? And the same for thin S. T-H-I-N-N-E-S-T. Double the consonant, then add the ending. Okay, think about angry. You're going to do the same thing with 9 and 10. Angry ends with a Y, so think about that before you add ER and EST. Big ends in vowel consonant like thin, so think about what we did to that consonant. So you're going to make bigger and biggest. Okay, so you're going to do 4 and 5 and 9 and 10 before our Google Meet. Okay, have that finished before we meet. You just finished the base word and endings. You did 4, 5, 9, and 10 together in this gray workbook, reading workbook. I want you to just take that page 62, flip it over, and you've got page 63. Page 63, and it says sequence at the top. And it's got a spool of thread and some buttons, okay? I want you to find that, okay? And let's look at those top 2 dots. Pause anytime you need to, guys. Sequence is the order in which things happen in a story. Clue words such as first, second, then, next, finally, and last can tell you when something happens. Directions. Read the following passage. Draw a line under the word or phrases that help you follow the sequence of the story's events. Then answer the questions below. Okay, well, we're going to look at this together. Okay, I want you to follow as I read, and we're going to stop like they ask us to and draw lines under our clue words that let us know the sequence. Okay, Tina's mother liked to watch rainbows. Tina decided to make her mother a rainbow. First, she found a large piece of white fabric. There was a clue word. Underline on your paper the word first. She sewed a row of red buttons to the fabric. Next, she sewed a row of orange buttons under the red buttons. Well, there was another one. Next, that told me what she did next. Well, and look, my other paragraph starting with then. Then Tina found some yellow and green glitter. She used glue and made a row of yellow glitter and then a row of green glitter under the buttons. Okay? Next, Tina found some blue fabric scraps. She sewed the blue fabric under the green glitter. Then, Tina found some violet buttons. She sewed a row of violet buttons under the blue fabric. Finally, Tina made fabric loops to hang her rainbow. Now, her mother can see a rainbow anytime. Okay, let's look at this. Number 1 says, when did Tina sew orange buttons to her fabric? Okay, well, let's look. First, she found a large piece of white fabric. She sewed a row of red buttons to the fabric. Next, she sewed a row of orange buttons under the red buttons. Well, she sewed the orange buttons after she did what? After she sewed the row of red buttons. So, when did she sew orange buttons? Well, after she sewed a row of red buttons. Okay. Number 2. What did Tina glue on the fabric after she sewed the red and orange buttons? Well, here she sewed the red buttons. Then she sewed the orange buttons. Then Tina found some yellow and green glitter. Okay? So, it said she used glue and made a row of yellow glitter and then a row of green glitter. So, after that, she glued, it said, what did she glue on the fabric? Well, we can say yellow and green glitter. Okay, we're just going back and looking at what she's doing in order. Number 3, when did Tina sew the violet buttons? Okay, let's look. There was the glitter. Next, Tina found some blue fabric scraps. She sewed the blue fabric under the green glitter. Then she found some violet buttons. She sewed a row of violet buttons under the blue fabric. So when did she sew the violet buttons? Well, after she sewed the blue fabric. So after the blue fabric. Okay, so we just did 1, 2, and 3 together. On number 4, what did Tina do last? You're going to answer that by yourself. And number 5, what are the colors in the sequence she used them? What that means for number 5, you're going to go back and look. Red was the first color they used. Then orange. Then yellow. So you're going to list those, and it says to tell why do you think she did it in that order, okay? So before our call, I want you to do 4 and 5 by yourself. I have posted a document with your spelling words for the week along with these vocabulary words and definitions, okay? And these are the words that you'll see in your story this week. We're going to talk about these words all week, and they're going to be on your Friday's test, okay? The first word is twitch. If you twitch, you are making small, jerky movements, okay? Gear is equipment needed for an activity. Think about if you play football. You have football gear that you take. That includes like your shoulder pads, your leg pads, your helmet, everything. It's equipment that's needed for an activity. Or if you go camping or hiking, you have gear that you take that you will need for that activity, okay? A willow is a type of tree with narrow, long branches. A willow tree usually has like long, thin branches that hang. Yanked means pulled with sudden movements. Think about, you may have a toy and your brother or sister yank it out of your hand. They just jerk it or pull it with a sudden movement. Okay? Splendid means great and excellent. You may say or hear somebody say, oh, I had such a splendid time. That means you had a great time. Splendid means great and excellent. Okay, and the last word is parka. We probably don't wear parkas much here, but they are warm, heavy jackets with a hood. They're usually like, they may be fur-lined, they may have down in them, but they're super, super thick. They're usually a little bit longer, they're heavier, and they have a hood, okay? But a parka is a warm, heavy jacket with a hood. And we're going to talk more about these later this week. Like I said earlier, our spelling words all have the ending ed, ing, er, and est. Okay? They all have those endings. So we're going to look at our new spelling words and start sorting them by their ending. And we are going to talk about the rest of these on our call. So we're going to get started with these, and then you're going to have some to finish. So the first word is using. Using ends in ing, so I'm going to put it here. U-S-I-N-G. Using. Okay, and I forgot to tell you, but this that we're doing, I'm so sorry, you can pause it if you need to, can be found in this. Okay, reading 3rd grade, extra practice and review. It is very close to the end. Okay, it says base words and endings. It is the next to last page, okay? Next to last page, base words and endings, and it says Kumak's fish. Okay, so we've already done using. The next word is getting. Okay, it also has ing. G-E-T-T. Add to double that consonant, ing. Getting. Okay. Number 3, easiest. It has est. I'm going to put it under est. E-A-S-I-E-S-T. Easiest. Number 4 is swimming. ing. S-W-I-M-M-I-N-G. heavier. Heavier ends in ER. Okay, like I just said, heavier ends in ER, so I'm going to add it here under ER. H-E-A-V-I-E-R. Heavier. Number 6 is greatest. It ends in EST. I'm going to add it under EST. G-R-E-A-T-E-S-T. Greatest. Okay, number 7 is pleased. Pleased ends in ED. P-L-E-A-S-E-D. Pleased. And number 8 is emptied. Emptied also ends in ED. E-M-P-T-I-E-D. Okay, I want you to now finish 9 through 15, your spelling words, continuing to sort those like we have done on the beginning of them. For grammar today, we are just going to do some grammar on the board, and this grammar this week is so easy. I mean, nobody should have any problems with it, okay? The title is declarative and interrogative sentences, okay? Those sound fancy and hard, but they're not, okay? A sentence that tells something is a statement, just like if I said, I have a dog. That's just a statement. I'm making a statement. It is called a declarative sentence. So declaratives make statements, okay? A sentence that asks something is called a question. It is called an interrogative sentence, okay? So look, here is a statement. Fishing is a lot of fun. I just made a statement about fishing. Here is a question. Do you like to go fishing? You're asking somebody a question. A statement begins with a capital letter and ends with a period. A question begins with a capital letter. All sentences begin with capital letters, but questions end with question marks, okay? So easy. You've been doing statements and questions for several years, I know. So this should just be a little bit of a review, okay? And remember, this is nothing you have at home. I want you to just pay attention and to listen, okay? This is just me talking and teaching. Okay, they want us to read these words, write statement if it's a statement, question if it's a question. So easy. I go ice fishing in the lake. I'm just telling something, so that is a statement. Okay, number 2. What do you need to go fishing? You're asking somebody what they need. It's got a question mark. That is a question. You need to wait and be patient to catch a fish. That's a statement. You're just telling somebody something. Okay? Number 4. Can you catch a big fish? That's asking a question. It's got a question word and a question mark. Okay? Number 5. Why does ice build up around the fishing hole? Question word, why? Question mark at the end. That is a question. Okay. So you should be able just to tell me if something is a statement or a question. Down here, they're wanting us to decide what the correct punctuation mark needs. Okay? So I want you to just listen. And I'm not going to rewrite these sentences. I just want to show you how I know what kind of end mark I need. Dad needs help pulling the big fish up from the water. That's making a statement. I'm just going to add a period. Number 7, Sally goes fishing with her family every summer. Just making a statement, adding a period. What kind of fish did you catch? Okay, that's asking a question. What is a question word? So I need to add a question mark. Number 9, you need a strong hooking stick to catch a big fish. That's just telling you what you need. So I need a period. Do you like to eat fish? Do, you're asking somebody something, so a question mark, okay? And we're going to talk more about this all week, but this should be very easy for you this week in grammar. Talk to you soon.